Just talk a second.
Me?
Yeah, okay, good.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
The recording is working. Alright. So, like, just gonna ask like a couple of questions first. Like, why did you decide to get coaching? Like, what do you feel like you struggle with in particular? Like, is there something in particular you're trying to get out of this and like learn, or?
Um, yeah, so most of the time, like in my league career, I guess, I've been kind of able to coach myself by like watching other, like basically just watching LS,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just like apply um, other coaching videos like myself.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of stuck, I guess. I've been like the same elo for a year, which is kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I'm also just like I like competing a lot, so I play in like tournaments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's just like a barrier to me not being able to get better. And yeah, I've had like coaches in the past from like teams and stuff like that. But I kind of struggle to get coached, I guess.
In what sense?
Like I don't think the claims they make are like justifiable a lot of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
like I don't, or like maybe like I don't understand it, or maybe they're like not articulate enough. So like I don't really learn that much. And also like the level I play at, the only thing worse than the gameplay is like the staff. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So that's why I guess I kind of reached out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think most coaches are pretty useless,
Yeah.
both in like, I mean, I assume you play like amateur scene, right? Like either like university or college or just random teams from your region.
Yeah, I basically just play like ERL qualifiers, and
Mm-hmm.
then I don't actually play once I
Yeah.
qualify. And then I play in like university leagues and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The stuff there is basically just like position fillers. So
Yeah, I agree.
it's pretty useless. Yeah. I mean, you're not the first person that said this. Like most people, when they hit like D2 plus, like a lot of people can just get to D2 by just watching videos, looking at other people coping, and then applying it because it's very basic things. But then once you get to this point, it's like, okay, what is actually the difference between a master player and a challenger, right? Like, how do I get there? And it can be very difficult, and you can feel like you've peaked and you're never gonna get better.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for you to not be able to climb. Uh, what is your peak elo?
I hit Grandmaster in like 250 LP, but it's usually like early season, so it doesn't really mean too much.
Okay. And what is your goal with League?
Um, I kind of want to, well, basically like get Challenger and then kind of see from there.
Yeah, take it from
I
there,
kind
like pro or streaming, or see where you end up.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in like staff positions, because I think they're like the most underwhelming aspects in like esports.
Mm-hmm.
So like just general like strategic coaching. Also like really into drafting. Um, so like, but I think it's like hard to justify being a coach or a member of staff if you're not like on the upper echelons of rank, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways to get there: either sucking dick or being good.
Yeah. So I'm not really. I'm like not very keen on networking, I guess, or just
Yeah.
like social climbing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just want to get in based off merit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like I wouldn't feel comfortable like holding a job that I don't feel like I deserve or something. So like
Yeah.
to be able to justify it to myself,
I mean, there is a
I'd
lot
like
of
to get
people.
challenger.
There's a lot of people like in the scene that just there because they're friends with the players, or they have
Yeah, for
basically
sure.
social climbed. So yeah, like getting high elo is a good way to get recognized for sure, either as a player or as a coach or whatever you want to do. So you want to climb, so then we're going to talk a lot about like how to climb, and you are a Nidalee one trick, pretty much. Nidalee, Poppy, Lee Sin.
Um, Kinda. So I've only really like started spamming the shit out of Nidalee like 2 months ago, like basically like a month before the buff came in. Because like I hit like a low of D2, which I haven't been in like a very long time. So I was just like, fuck it. So I just spent like 40 games of Nidalee in a row. Because she's just like, I think like even before the buffs, I think she's like one of the best, potentially best junglers in the game. But obviously like requires a very high skill cap. So I kind of wanted to see if I could reach it, and I kind of didn't have anything to lose. So now I just play a lot of Nidalee, and after the buff, I think she's just like really great. So I like playing her, obviously, and I just kind of I've been trying to like limit champ pool because I think that's like the main reason I probably don't climb is because I just play like different champions every game.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to do that was just like pick a champion I kind of enjoy. I also think is like pretty broken. So Nidalee is kind of the checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to become a player and you want to become a staff, one tricking is a good way to do this because you get to learn the game when you one trick, and you get to cheat some aspects that other people don't. Like other people need to learn the champions, you don't need to. This is basically what I did. Like I played Veigar only till like season 6, season 7, and then I started branching out to other roles and stuff. But just learned the game by playing Veigar. When do you not pick Nidalee then? When she's banned or?
I'm like pretty confidence-based player, which is kind of like the death of me sometimes. So if I lose like a bunch of games on Italy,
You think you're
I
bad, or?
yeah, so I just like won't pick it. Or like certain some aspect like Nidalee just doesn't feel great sometimes. Like in solo queue, I think like the big problem with Nidalee is you can like basically lack crowd control like crazy because I guess like solo queue-esque champs don't have a lot of CC, so if you're picking something that literally has nothing, the games can feel like pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think here is an example. Like here you have Vladimir top lane, you have Nidalee, then you have Zoe. You have no front line here. You're triple AP top side.
Yeah.
You have no setup in top lane.
Yeah, that game is one of the games I linked, but also like I still feel like I can win that game. Like even though I didn't pick Nidalee, obviously, like knowing what my team comp was. Like I still think I can win that game if I play better, but I just don't know how to. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched yourself play and try to figure out like what's wrong?
So I can like obviously point out to like macro mistake or micro mistakes. I'm like, yeah, that's an int right there. But sometimes I just have like general like big game knowledge questions that I can't like answer myself, and I don't necessarily like have anybody that can answer those questions for me and like justify their claims. I mean, like, it just feels like very gray area stuff, and I just like don't know how to explain it to myself, I guess.
Looking at your OPGG, it seems to me that you're lacking like really big consistency. Like,
yeah,
you have big consistent issues. Like you are not a consistent player. It seems to me, like you are very coin flip, and this is really big because you never know if you will have a good team or bad team, and if you're randomly just flipping every game, right, and you end up inting here where maybe you could get carried or, you know, you keep making it very hard. Like if you look at the top ladder players, right, they often perform really good.
Sure.
Right, like here we're looking at Selfmade. He's taking over games, 10 CS per minute here.
Yeah.
30-minute game. He has 10 CS per minute as a jungler. It's very consistent right now, and he plays the kind of like playstyle that Nidalee requires.
Right.
Jungle is very farm heavy role right now, and you can play it very controlled and just take over the game yourself. And that is the easiest way to be consistent, because a player that is playing like Elise or Kiana jungle, etc., can be very hard for him to be consistent because what he needs to do doesn't necessarily rely on his own skill all the time, and more so on like what the enemy team does. You know, for like a Kiana to get fed, the enemy has to really misplay. For a Nidalee to get fed, you can get fed through smart pathing and just efficient clearing.
Yeah.
So
I agree with like all of that completely. So the issue I've run into now is like I feel like I have no impact on any game, and like I'm coin flipping in the reverse direction, where instead of like invade level 1 or whatever, I'm kind of just like coin flipping my teammates because I'm like just having no impact because I'm just like hyper focused on farming, and I can't like strike the balance.
Yeah, well, jungle is designed in a way where you can path and take ganks in between, or take jungle camps while looking for ganks, etc. Like, for example, instead of just like sitting in a bush and flipping and hoping it works, you can take a camp nearby a lane where you need to cover, or, you know, taking lane EXP to help shove out or stuff like this. Like, track the enemy jungle as Nidalee is huge.
For sure.
You have so many ways to do it as well, like place a trap on a camp to see if it's up and spare it and stuff. There's a lot of ways to have impact without having like direct impact, you know, like, of course having a kill means, okay, I did something good, but you just hopping around in their jungle is also good.
Yeah.
You know, you placing a trap for your lane is good. You sweeping the vision of enemy mid lane is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I just get like I think I do play that way, where I'm much more like, I guess I don't want to say like utility focused, but like I'm not very focused on like ganking, because I feel like almost every time, like if we just let the other team make the mistakes, that's like kind of the way I like winning. Like I'd rather them coin flip ganks while I'm like having efficient clears.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like those games kind of like I get a lot of death threats because
Yeah, because you're farming.
Yeah, and like a lot of people disagree, especially laners.
Yeah, of course, because they are living in their own bubble. They see only what's in front of them.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm like, I know it's the wrong play, but I kind of like feel like I have to gank, or like my team will just like instant FF or AFK.
Yeah, but what you need to understand is you need to not think about the result of the game and do what's gonna in the long run give you the most wins. Yes, you playing the correct way will have this guy sometimes go AFK.
Yeah.
It will have maybe this guy fucking rage. Usually when people rage, it's because they fucking inted and failed, and then they use you as a scapegoat. Whether you were there or not doesn't actually change what happened. Right?
Yeah.
And if you are legit just farming and recalling, well then of course you're trolling. Right? We'll wait and see this. I don't know yet how you play. But, right, you have all the high elo Nidalees, right? There's so many of them. This champion is so strong.
Yeah. I've also like found it difficult to find a Nidalee that I like kind of agree with, I guess. Like I see a lot of them like take flips, I guess. Like whenever I try to watch replays, I feel like they're more kind of focused on the invade aspect, which I feel like can sometimes like backfire. I kind of find it hard to like replicate those things. I don't know if it has to do with like mechanical confidence. Like I don't want to like take red and then like jump over the like whatever Drake pit or Baron pit and then like go into enemy jungle.
I do that a lot on Nidalee and Graves.
Yeah, I think on Graves it feels a bit more consistent.
I mean, it depends.
It's kind of hard.
It depends on like who enemy jungle is, for example. Like
yeah.
We assume you have sweeper, right? Like let's say you're red side, you're playing Nidalee or Graves. You warded here level 1 because you're gonna start top side, and you're not afraid of the enemy invading you because they are Karthus, they are Zac, they are Shyvana, right? All these champions wants to clear full.
Sure.
Right? So you warded here. Why do we ward here? Because 1, we don't want to have our trinket up because we want to have sweeper. 2, this allows us to see if they go like this and then into here while we're taking their top side. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, now we have sweeper. We start here and then we see, okay, they leashed bot side. You fucking hop, skip, jump over here while using your sweeper, right? So you hug this top side so that you avoid the potential pixel bush ward. Take this, get the fuck out. It's guaranteed 100% of the time. The only way it's not guaranteed is if the Karthus decides to do red buff and then go straight top. Right?
Yeah.
If he does that, then you just jump away.
Yeah,
then he fucks himself.
Sure.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So like this route, like you said, it's not flip. It looks flip in a replay, But if you think about it more deeper, it's not flip. Yes, it's fucking flip if it's versus a Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Because the Lee Sin should do this, into this, into this, and then gank. But the Lee Sin can also full clear and then get Tiamat. But you don't know it for sure. But yeah, like if we look at these other players, they're very consistent in season, it seems like. It's a lot of MVPs, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of MVPs. Sometimes they tilt, it seems like, as well, right? They're only human, but in their losses, they're ace rank and their CS numbers are really good.
Yeah.
But they're also part of a lot of kills. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, we have this picture in front of us now of the champions, the draft of the game that you wanted to watch. What do you think when you see this?
I kind of feel like bot lane, like pretty much every lane is hard winning, in theory. Except I feel like the Syndra Echo matchup isn't as good for Echo as it seems.
I agree.
Especially early, like Syndra just wins that matchup really hard if she's good. I think the Nidalee Graves matchup is like Nidalee favored. And then we also just have like Jace Nidalee, which can just like shut Hecarim down really hard. And I feel like Brave and Nautilus should shit on Twitch.
So, I think that your jungle matchup is really bad early levels. I think that Graves can invade you a lot early on if he really wants to. After first clear, I think you shit stomp him and you keep scaling, and his E armor is really irrelevant versus you. This matchup got a lot worse for Graves when he lost his MR. So, yeah, like minute 1 to like 4, I'd say is pretty even matchup, a little bit Graves favored. After that, I say you start winning. And then he gets a slight lead again at level 6, and then you just keep winning after that.
Yeah.
Now, top matchup, your Jace is going to win really hard early on. At some point, Hecarim will start to get some sustain and point in Q and be tankier, so it's going to be easier for him. But just in a 2v2 top side, you just have to respect the fact that they have Ignite.
Yeah.
You have no setup in top lane too, which can be annoying. Mid matchup, Syndra will have push. Echo will start to win around level 11. Yeah. And he is able to sustain himself once he has like Dark Seal Corruption Potion. But before that, there's no way he will ever have prio, and you should not touch mid lane unless it's to help him push out or something. Main focus this game has to be bot lane, because these guys are both going to scale and you're not going to win the game if they get to late game.
Yeah.
So you should trust the fact that Jace hopefully will be fine top, and if he's not fine top, then he will get fucked over, and then enemy bot lane gets fucked over. Because if this guy loses 1v1, he's just fucking bad.
Sure.
So what
Can
would
you make that argument for the other side of the map as well?
These guys?
Yeah.
I mean,
like they should win 2v2.
They should win 2v2. Doesn't mean that enemy bot lane will die.
Like they don't have to. I guess like my thought is like it should be pretty hard for Twitch to like walk up in general.
Yeah, it should be. But
So,
if you want Draven to get ahead, right?
We want to get ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you want Draven to get ahead and Twitch to fall behind.
Yeah. So like, I ended up like pathing towards topside and kind of like playing around Jace for the first few levels. So I kind of like wouldn't know how to make that distinction of like focusing on the lead we could get bot lane versus top lane.
But you just mentioned it yourself. If Twitch cannot walk up to the wave, what happens to his wave?
It'll, if he can't walk up and see us, you mean?
Yeah.
It'll push into him.
Yeah, slowly.
Set up dives, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are Nidalee, really good at diving because you can just poke with spears. You have tons of damage. It's the best time to kill somebody if there's a way of getting stacked into them. He loses so much, so it doesn't matter. Like, yes, these guys are for sure fine 2v2. It would be really embarrassing for these guys to lose 2v2 here. Right? It would be insanely cringe. But this guy has Ignite. This guy has Heal. This guy has Exhaust. They have a lot of ways to live. In a pure 2v2, there is a world where Twitch is only 10-20 CS behind. That's not enough to make it justifiable for you to play topside.
Sure.
You don't have any setup top lane. And Jace scales really good to 2 to 3 items. After that, he's a little bit off compared to other champions. But you don't need to help him. Your bot lane, however, they actually need to get played for. Draven doesn't do anything in this game later on.
Okay.
It's really useless, this game. Because Syndra outranges him. Twitch and Yuumi, after 2 items, will beat him. Hecarim will just run him over, and Graves is Graves.
Yep.
So since Twitch can't walk up to the lane and shouldn't be allowed to, your bot lane should have prio for you and push for you. Therefore, you can dive and play for them.
Okay.
And you're also shutting down 2 people then, opposed to 1 guy.
Makes sense.
Because you're red side this game, and that allows you also to get this. Or your top camps as well.
What do you mean?
Like if you start top side and path to bot,
Oh, yeah.
then you can get them level 2, you know? So your next clear you get super big.
Sure.
But if you start bot side, then your clear is a bit inefficient in terms of getting yourself ahead. Like Gromp is super valuable, but Wolves I don't feel like it's as good.
Aren't Wolves and Raptors like same XP?
Yeah, and I would rather have Krugs. Don't you think it would be better to secure Krugs and Raptors, and then go Gromp, and ignore Wolves and go bot?
Oh, as like the first gank path, just go like red,
Yeah.
Raptors, Grom.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like it's kind of nebulous, like the way the lane state's gonna be bot lane.
Because I think you can dive these motherfuckers level 2 free battle in bot lane,
Yeah.
depending on their HP.
Okay.
The only thing that could go bad with you starting top side, because Hecarim can't stack a wave on Jace. Like, your argument could be like, because I get what you're thinking. Like, you're thinking that you don't need to be bot because they should be fine by themselves. Yes, they should be. Right? Of course they should be. But how do you think Graves is thinking this game? Graves should be thinking that he has a turbo scaling bot lane, he has to cover them.
Yeah.
And Hecarim cannot stack a wave on Jace, so Jace cannot get doved in top lane. It's not like your Jace is playing versus an Ignite Teemo or some shit like this. Right? If there was a reason to gank top lane, like let's say it was Jace versus Renekton and Elise, I could understand why you want to play for top. Because Jace has to respect, and if he's respecting, that means he's not touching the wave all the time, which means that Renekton can stack a wave and he can get dove. So it would make sense to me that you want to play for top 10 because your bot lane is fine. In this game, your Jace is fine 1v1 completely, doesn't need to respect Graves, because Graves is ganking a lane with no setup, right? It's not like Hecarim can flash and stun like Renekton. Like, how does this Jace die to a Hecarim gank from Graves?
I feel like after Red Smite, it's not like super out of the question. Like after he has Red Smite on Graves.
Yeah, and after Red Smite, doesn't really matter where he started.
Oh, you're just talking like early levels?
Yeah, and I mean, even at Red Smite, I feel like Hecarim has to fucking ulti too.
That's true, yeah.
There's just no point to start bot side this game. Because if Graves plays for top, you play for bot, is super good.
Yeah.
Even you just standing there sparing them under turret is huge.
Sure.
And I hope we can see it in game. Because I think it's really bad to start bot side.
I've got bad news. Yeah.
Why the smite, by the way?
Because Q's based off missing health.
Yeah.
But I fuck up the Q. So if you smite it here, basically like the fastest full clear is if you smite blue rather than Grom.
Okay. Wouldn't that be more efficient to do on this Q then? Like smite now? Then do RQ? Instead of like this?
It's because your Cougar Q is missing health. Like
Yeah.
on the target.
Yes, I know. But
So,
here,
like
if you had smite now, right? Then you can heal too. Because now you're just smiting full HP, you know? The damage
sure.
would, in the long run, you're killing the blue same speed.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're talking about like health.
Yeah, I'm talking about health.
Okay.
Right, we're talking about 50 HP difference, not gonna make huge deals, just micro things like this is worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Because there will be a game in the future where you are lacking 50 HP and that means Graves kills you 1 auto faster.
Yeah.
Because here we could be full HP. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, move this. Okay. So Nidalee is one of those champions where F keying while clearing is a bit annoying because there's a lot of mechanical things you have to do and a lot of buttons to press. So
Right.
I don't really blame you for not looking at lanes too much here, because there's a lot of fucking things to do. But here, for example, we have a window right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Good, good. Clean. Mechanics. So we're puffing up to top. Looks like Hecarim recall or something.
I think he's just getting dicked on.
Yeah. Did we get to see where Grave started? Did he show it?
No.
It looks like he started bot side. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
but maybe they just faked.
I think so, or maybe like coming to lane late or something.
We will see.
So
I mean,
my
here, yeah,
Raptors are gone.
yeah. Everything topside is gone. That's a bummer. So it probably means that
Wait.
Hecarim and Graves late invaded you.
Yeah, they did it through try,
Yep.
which sucks.
Yeah.
Happens.
Where did we ward? Level 1? Like opening topside, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Sucks. Yeah, I mean, these things like versus Graves and Olaf, you should really be expecting these things. And your ward here is fine. Like I said, like you won a ward opposite side, right? I said this at the start. So when you start both side, then of course you do this. Your level 1, like I said as well in loading screen, is super shit versus Graves. So if they
Yeah.
did this and you started top side, he would probably be doomed. What do you think about trap start and Raptors?
I think it makes sense if the pathing justifies it. It's like slightly slower.
Yeah, of course.
but-
But like, I really fucking need you to get to bot lane.
Yeah.
And versus Graves and Olaf, we need to understand how, yes, Nidalee is good versus the champions. But the counterplay they have is early game.
Sure.
If you are able to set up traps for this, then their late invade is pretty garbage. Because you're going to be standing inside of here. So they can't actually see you, you know?
Mhm.
And they can't see your traps. So as long as you don't reveal yourself, you're fine. Like, you start the game off as normal. You fucking run here, place the ward, place a fucking trap, recall, get sweeper, run here, place traps.
Yeah, you can't recall and get sweeper and like place all the traps.
In time?
Yeah. So you kind of just like get stuck on ward, but sometimes it's not like the worst.
Okay.
As long as you're like
Sure.
solo laners help out. But yeah, I agree. Sometimes I
Be-
think it's viable.
Because the thing is that there's no world where they go like this, and
Yeah.
even if there is, you can just stand in the bush. You know?
Yeah, and you've got W anyway.
And then they're gonna take your red. You kill this before they kill your red. You come level 2.
Mhm.
And it's super good. And this way you can counter late invades. Because now if you don't get invaded, you can just clear your top side, recall, go here. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're still bot side. But it seems like you got caught off guard by this, so you didn't expect late invade at all.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I haven't really seen like late invade through Tribush that much. Not gonna lie, but that might just be like my bad. I honestly, when I first saw it, I thought like he did, like he E'd over Baron Wall. I just,
Yeah, like
walked
Drake
in.
into... Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was like, what the fuck? Like that's so flippy.
No, it's not. You have to get that out of your mind. It's not because...
Like if he's leashing me at red and it's just him, like I feel like that's kind of flippy.
I don't think so. If he commits, yes, it is.
Mhm.
But if he plays it safe and correctly, it's not flip.
Wait, really? If he E's over Baron?
Yeah, because it's not like Echo's gonna get there instantly. You're not gonna kill him. Right?
Sure. But it's just like, I feel like it fucks him so hard to like be level 1, like E over the wall, and then have to walk like all the way around back to blue.
Sure, if you realize he can't do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like here, we look at top lane.
Mhm.
Crab is spawning. Graves is puffing down to bot.
Yep.
Heka is quite low. Jace doesn't have any setup, so it feels like shit. Like this guy's diveable right now, but you can't land the spear. Why do you try to force this here, by the way?
I think it's kind of gankable, and I kind of have nothing else to do because like Graves
I'm-
most likely went back into his jungle.
I mean, you have things to do. You have the crab on scouting his jungle.
I'm pretty sure crab
Look.
wasn't up.
Yes, it
But-
was. See?
Was it?
Look, yeah. See?
Oh.
Spawning right now. Right there. It's in the corner here, the little skull crab. Look.
That's true.
It's in the pocket of your screen here.
Yeah.
There. You can place a trap on it and just insta grab it and then go mid.
Yeah.
But you have scouting to do here. He could leave wolves. You know?
Yeah.
He could leave something. You could also just transit gank over to bot crab. You know?
Mhm.
You need to get to fucking bot lane here. Like, you need to stop thinking about this.
Yeah.
We know Graves is pathing down to bot. What does he want to do bot?
Gank.
Yeah, he wants to shoot him in the face with his shotgun.
Yeah.
So get your ass over there.
Mhm.
Nidalee is a jungler that is allowed to jump over walls, heal, uses low mana cost with when you have blue buff. Right? Doesn't use any mana in Tiger. You jump around. You have 8 abilities. So can you keep track of the enemy jungle, please? Right, just keep him in check. You said it yourself. I have 3 winning lanes. The only one that's not going to win early is Echo.
Mhm.
So if you have winning lanes, your job as a jungler is just to keep the enemy jungler in check.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I would never gank mid here. I would get everything off from top side so I can never go here again in my life.
Okay.
So that means I take this crab, then I just run through mid. Doesn't matter if they see me. I don't give a fuck. If they see me, it's even better. That tells Graves to get the fuck off my bot lane.
Mhm.
And then I will try to get this crab. If I can't get it, I'll say whatever. That's fine, right? It's 3:14 right now. My Grump is up at like 4:05 right now.
Mhm.
So then I will just use 30 seconds bot side covering my bot lane. Then I'll take Grump and Wolves and recall. Make
Sure.
sense?
Yeah.
But instead now you do this, and then here is maybe it's warded even. So now they might even know where you are, and your bot lane is overextending. And now you're taking the crab. Crab should be done now, and you should be running through mid or diving top.
Mhm.
Now this happens, right? Because we wasted our time fucking mid lane, so now we still haven't done the crab. This is good. Boom. Jungle diff.
Of course.
But this we could have still done. But crab could be done. Now we still
Yeah.
have to return to crab, and bot lane is gonna get ganked. This is good by you. Because here there's no point to go bot, because if they're gonna die now, you're too late.
Yeah.
So I like this. And here comes Graves.
Mhm.
Surprise, surprise. That was really hard to read.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. It was not obvious. But yeah, I like what you do here. This is good. Because if you went to bot now, you'd be here. So it'd be a
Yeah.
complete waste of time.
Mhm.
But my point is just, if we had this in mind, we would do crab right now. And then now crab would be dead. And then you could see top lane. Do that and then go through mid.
Yeah.
Because we'd be like 10-15 seconds ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I think I was just really clouded because I thought like underfed Jace would be like way more useless than underfed like Draven, even though I think their lanes are like both winning. I guess that just like kind of clouded my whole perception of the game.
I mean, Jace gets farmed. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Jace gets free farm in this matchup. He's never under like if a champion has free farm, he's not underfed.
Mm-hmm. I just
Farm
thought
is
like
so
he
broken.
would die, I guess, to ganks, but yeah, that's what's true.
I mean, when we know Grace is buffing bot side here, how does it die to a gank?
I mean, like at the beginning of the game.
Yes,
like
but there you could have fixed it, right? Like I said,
yeah,
if you just like, this is kind of like a road sign. This tribush here, look, this is like a road sign. Gives you like options. You
yeah,
know? The road sign tells you here, okay, top dive, crab, mid, right?
Mm.
And you choose crab, then you're like, shit, no, I go mid, delaying your fucking crab.
Yeah.
So yeah. Graves should be in base right now. Why didn't you take his wolves there? Because this is not diveable because of the wave.
yeah. I thought Hecarim was gonna go in on him, but like looking back, obviously it doesn't matter because he's like full HP. Where was he? Yeah, I don't know.
Hecarim must use his ability now to go in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's right.
based on the wave here, I would take wolves and then go.
Because the wave's gonna crash.
Yeah. If this means we're dead, it would make sense what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I would agree with it. But right now, this cannon has to die. By the time that cannon is dead, you see the wave is here. Because of that, the next wave will be here. So there's no way you can dive now.
Yeah.
Only way is if Hecarim runs into you in Tribush. And if he does that, you're just the best player in the world.
Of course.
And then, see, same like you had it on your mind, but now the issue is, okay, well, it's gone apparently. But yeah, you couldn't know that. Graves should be going to topside now. So now we're a little bit behind. Because Graves should have based. You ping it, that's good. Good read. We clear these. Clear this, then recall probably, yeah. Graves is bot side, you ping it. Oh, never mind, Jace does it. Okay, now you have a Draven Nautilus hard losing. Like Graves should never, like, Graves should play for topside. But it does make sense for him to play bot, because he wants his bot lane to be fine. That is why you do it, because if he does it, then you guys win 3v3. And if he doesn't do it, well then you have Twitch Yuumi not scaling.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, they don't see you or what?
Basically. But it's kind of embarrassing.
Where the fuck did they go? What the fuck, hackers?
Yeah. It gets worse.
Oh, Drake.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got red IRL.
Yep, Red RL is too good. You should take this wave unless Echo has TP.
He does. I don't know. I think I should have helped him like push the wave there. But
I mean, you have a blue to take. He just kills himself while you're walking. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
That's just lane diff, but you should just check here. Like, right now, check if your laner has TP.
I also think like she doesn't have the mana to push, but she's already started pushing.
She
like,
has, it's Syndra. Her Q is fucking broken. It costs like 40 mana.
I think it just takes too long. No? Or maybe not.
What? If he does if he has TP, yes, it takes too long. If not, like, no, look. Like, it's dead. The wave. What are you saying?
That's true.
Again, you just waste time. You do this so much throughout this entire game where you're like running around like ape.
True.
Like, you can just jump in the wave. Like, what happens here? Look, if you now walk up, right? If you now heal yourself, you just fucking walk up, you WE this, right? And you just fucking kite it in human form, and you just get rid of the wave. What happens? Graves walks up, Syndra can't stun you. She has no mana.
Yeah.
So now you show yourself, you don't push, then you end up waiting around. Graves right now is taking his own jungle. Wasting time. Still don't even check what's happening with your mid laner.
Yeah. I just kind of want to stop a recall and try to help him freeze, but I think it's probably not worth.
It's not. It's a normal wave too. If it was cannon, maybe you could have. Because then you could deny your cannon. But here, like, who is the best carry on your team?
Me or Draven?
No, yourself, always.
Yeah.
Unless you're legit playing Ivern. Right? Because you can control, you cannot control this Echo if he's gonna freeze that. So Echo's gonna come to lane, he's gonna fucking Q the wave. Right? If there's no way that you can take the wave, right? Or if the Echo is legit, like, right next to you, of course you fucking jump in and you fucking freeze it for him. Of course. He was in Africa, bro. Right? He was here dead for 7 seconds. You're not meant to sit there for 40 seconds dragging it around as a carry jungler.
Yeah.
You just clear the wave and get the fuck out. You have shit to do. You're so behind in tempo. Graves all this time, it's just like a level 8 already almost. It's like hard chilling. Aren't you wanting to base here soon?
Yeah. probably.
Look here. Like, right now, what does Jace want to do?
Clear wave recall.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where are you wanting to play for?
Bot lane, probably.
Okay. So you're now then gonna clear your bot camps and leave your top camps up, and then go bot lane where you have no camps? Like, let's see what you ended up doing. Like, you clear this, and then you don't get your fucking item. That's fucking stupid. Because what I want you to do is, yes, you should play for bot here. I agree. But we don't want to play for bot and leave our top camps up. Like, if Graves sees you bot, what's he gonna do?
Invade my top side.
Okay, he's gonna invade your top side or match you bot, right?
Yeah.
So it is 10 times better here that we go for Echo Rim, like you do, that's fine, I don't care. You should also take this Blast Cone over, but that's whatever. There. Now can't you just take Krug's Red Raptors recall? Go bot.
Yeah.
And then not farm a single bot camp so that you can do bot camps up to top after your bot play. This way you can farm while impacting lanes. Now you're farming these camps, not recalling, leaving Krugs up, then spending time taking this complete waste of time. Because now after the gank, you're just going to recall. So now you're ganking with weaker item.
Yeah.
Because if you spent the time that this took you to just do these three, then recall, sure, you'd be like, what, 15 seconds late on the gank? It's not like you're ganking on a window here. You guys are waiting on the wave to come even, so you're wasting even more time.
Yeah, and they're about to hit level 6 anyway, so it would be better to wait.
If they're smart, they click on him and they know you're here. Yeah, if they click there and they see the Nidalee heal buff.
Yeah, I don't think people are smart enough, but maybe they.
Yeah. Imagine we have Runic Echoes here, how much better isn't that?
Very much.
Will we hit the spare? Will we hit it?
Absolutely not.
Well, you're hitting the auto attack spares at least.
Yeah.
You have 100% accuracy on those.
I'm not sure if I could have gone for spear there, or it just felt like not even worth throwing it out.
I mean, I think you should when you have no setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, you know, like Nautilus is never gonna hook somebody here. So what are you waiting on? Just flip it.
Yeah.
Like even there on Graves. Because you would have a second spare now.
Sure.
Good flash. And then here we go. We have no cam spot. Sucks a bit. I think your bot is slow pushing into them.
Yeah, because the wave crashed.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to do this. Because you can't ever contest the Herald. You're so useless.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather just here, just pop straight to bot, realize that, okay, right now, there's a wave building up. Sure, they could be doing Herald right now. If they're doing Herald, fuck that shit, I'm gonna die bot lane. Look,
yeah.
You have a point and click CC.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch's best option when those 2 to 3 waves come under his threat is run away. If he does that, then that's good for you guys.
Sure.
So again, you have 2 camps up bot side while pathing to a dive, and you go here.
And do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's strange because if Graves is doing Herald there, okay. Best case for you is he runs away. Are you then going to start a Herald?
Mm-hmm. If he's not on it?
Like, let's say you go here.
Yeah.
Okay? And you meet Graves. And then he starts Herald. And then he leaves it. Are you then going to start it?
I think like I played it today, but I can't really remember. I don't think I really thought he was on it. I kind of like thought about abandoning bot lane and just getting like a Herald crash mid, or top, sorry.
But why?
To kind of like speed up the lane.
You have a dive bot here.
Yeah.
That's my point. Because look here. Look here. What advantage does your bot lane here have over enemy bots?
Nothing.
Yes,
Or
they
wave,
do. Watch. There's usually always some kind of advantage. What advantage do they have right now? What does enemy bot lane do here? Your bot lane has tempo.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, the enemy bot is still in fucking lane, these apes. That can get punished. Look, they're still in lane. When you see this, you know, okay. Alright, my bot lane will come back to lane way before these guys. Right now you know enemy bot lane is going to recall. You see it on your map. So you can think, okay, when they come back to lane, they will come under their tower. I can instant dive that with not R. See? I see it. Okay, not R up. Okay. And bot lane right now in base. They're like here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you now go straight here, right? You can even run through the lane if you want, right? Or run here. You meet them with the 2 waves. You can even run through mid like this. Right?
Sure.
It's so fucking free. I agree that you should at some point abandon bot lane, but I think this is the last resort you have. Because it looks so free.
Sure.
Because if I was playing a supportive jungler here, I would never go bot lane anymore now. Because my bot lane doesn't have enough damage. And also I don't benefit much from killing Twitch. I need somebody to play around. But as a carry jungler, if I kill Twitch, I get gold. Like he probably has shutdown, no?
Should do, yeah.
Let's see. If you press tab. Well, if you could fucking hold the tab down, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I don't hold it down too much.
Well, that's bad, because that shows you're not really paying attention.
Yeah, it's more of a...
Fuck, I can't even pause it with...
It's more of a tick than like actually looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, you should. Okay, so he doesn't actually have a shutdown. But yeah, like this is for sure a fucking kill. If you go there.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, they run away. And if they run away, then they're losing CS. And you can take Graves' bot side if he takes Herald.
For sure.
You know? Like, yeah, you have a win condition here. That's good. But would make even less sense to play for him now because he is so far ahead that there's no way he loses top anymore.
That's true.
Here you go. This is the wave crash. Let's see when does Twitch show in lane. Here. There. Imagine you just ran there straight. There. Where's Twitch now? Under his tower. Oh, you click on bot lane here. Let's see the wave state. Magic. That's crazy.
True.
There's 2 to 3 waves there. With a point and click Nautilus ult.
Yeah, and we also see Eka, so... Well... I think if, like, theoretically, I think him moving there would also, like... It benefits everybody if I'm there.
Yep. Because we're just coin flip ganking. Like, see, now it's just like... Now it just happens to be that Twitch pushed. Because he could have had the wave here now. You know? Like, he pushed this wave that happened to be here.
Yeah.
Because this was now bouncing into you. And he could have just slow pushed it. If he did that, then this could be very hard to do. This is, of course, good by you. This is a skill of a jungler to adapt. We see here, oh no, Ratarel, you are overextended. I will kill you. Right? This is good by you. But we didn't know this when we decided to path down to bot lane.
Yeah.
That's my point. And that's how we want to play. We want to prepare things as a jungler. We want to be able to adapt like you did here. And we also want to make a plan. We want to see things in lanes happening, right? Like level ups or waves and stuff and figure out what can I do with this. And this isn't something that you planned. This just happened because Twitch was an idiot.
Yeah.
So in your next game, that might not happen. Good trap. Outplayed.
Yep.
Not much we could have done there. What do you think about the Rod of Ages build, by the way?
I think it's the best build, but I rarely find myself playing well enough to afford it in a timely manner. Like, I think the Conqueror kind of Roa build is usually the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you should be able to learn how to play with that, because I agree. I think it's really fucking good.
Yep.
Because now you're building what? Sonios?
Athenes.
Yeah, well, you're building Athenes with a fucking useless as fuck Draven.
Yeah.
Versus AD as well.
Yep.
It's really bad. Now you're AFK, I guess.
Basically.
This is good. This is good too. Here comes her sound.
So,
Okay, thank you, Nautilus. I thought he hooked it out of it for a second.
yeah. He smites. I don't think I can kill him there.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah. Also, Hecarim's like next to him. This is a kind of a question mark situation. Like 10 seconds before this, there's like a wave, like pretty large wave crashing top lane, but there's something going on bot lane. So I think I check it. Maybe I checked it before.
Yeah, I mean, you should be looking at bot lane right now to know,
Yeah.
like you see there's fast wave top, I want to get that. What's happening bot? You don't look, so I can't tell you what's the right call.
Yeah.
All I know right now is that Jace is inside of 3 people and you're going to the Jace.
Yep.
I mean, you could catch the wave Hecker's pushing and catch the next wave as well. Because now you're taking a mid wave that your teammates could have taken.
Yeah.
Your team could have taken this wave, so for sure this is really bad.
If I've already made the decision to like go towards bot lane, do I just like leave the wave? Because we're basically just like sharing it.
I mean, to then go to the fight or what?
Like after the fight was over, I'm kind of just like pushing mid so that we can get tower.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should probably just let somebody else yes.
I mean, I think your entire team is useless except for Jace, so I think you should take this.
Okay.
It just sucks to take it when you were the one that could have taken this.
Yeah.
Because we're talking the 2 waves that Hecker crash and the next wave that's going to come.
Mhm.
That's a kill and a half at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 kills. Here we enter Graves' side, basically. Like you see him here as well, run into your jungle. Maybe he didn't pay attention, but he runs into bot side here. You could go for his wolves here. I think going for wolves and Gromp would be the smartest choice. Right here.
Yeah.
Here, like this. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I agree.
That way, if Hecarim griefs as well, you can maybe kill him. Because... Oh, whew, okay, nice mechanics.
I thought he had ult, but I don't think he did.
Will we hit it?
I don't think there was a big yeah. I think in that snapshot, I didn't see a lot of motivation or like need for me to walk up. I feel like I just kind of kill myself if I do.
Yeah, of course. What you did was fine.
Yeah, so I'm kind of just staying back. Like,
We have no mana, because we have no Road of Ages.
true.
Fucking useless shit build. I would build like this if I had the Twitch Yumi,
Yeah,
and I was useless.
I do find myself being useless a lot. So,
Yeah, but I mean, like, your pathing isn't the most efficient, and you end up being on sides just randomly, instead of, like, kind of understanding how the game is being played out.
Yeah.
Like, now your Chase is grouping up, okay, then we should probably look to fight, because otherwise Chase is just losing CS for no reason. I don't understand, like, this pink ward. It makes no sense to me. Like, what does pink wards do?
controls areas.
Yeah, it gives you vision and removes vision from enemy, right?
Sure.
Okay. Do we need vision right here? Could there potentially be somebody in this bush right now?
I thought there was a chance, not gonna lie. I'm not really sure if it's
Okay,
just
can't you just trap it then? Because you have trap going up. And if there was somebody in this fucking bush, don't you want to fucking maybe, you know, use your free trinket?
Yep.
Because it makes no sense to me to, if you think anybody's here, to walk up blindly like this. Okay, so I see you now. And then you're like, yeah, I think somebody's in this bush, you tell me. And you're just like, walking here? You don't even bother sweeping it. Because now you have no pink. So what are you going to do now when we're setting up for Drake? When we want to maybe pink Drake, or you have a bush at Drake to pink, you know? To look to spare from. Because when you're playing Nidalee especially, if you create an area where there's no wards, it's harder for enemy team to dodge spares. It's harder for you now to create that area, because you no longer have a consistent zone. You only have a limited zone.
Yeah.
we want to use our sweeper for these kind of things and keep pinks for objectives and picks.
Yeah.
If this was early game, this pink could be fine as like a way of defending your bot lane. Right now, we've taken mid turret, taken top turret, we've taken bot turret. We're gonna play further up on the map. Why are we playing defensive pinks?
Yeah.
It's waste of your gold here. Because here it would be nice to maybe fight for some vision. You know, maybe get a pink ward in here and then do Drake, you know? Maybe if your support didn't have pink, you pinking this could be good. If this wasn't pink, you pinking it could be good. Right? Here we could have a pink here. Having a pink versus a Twitch in a fight is huge. Twitch can't come from here now. Twitch can't flash into here without seeing him. Twitch can come from here because you don't have a fucking pink.
Yeah.
You need to understand here that you're playing versus Twitch, so this is our zone. And this is our zone. Imagine you had a pink hair too.
Yeah. He just can't play the game.
Yeah, he can't. Draven decides to recall. Echo decides to kill himself. Bit strange from Echo there.
Yeah.
They push us off.
And I don't think we can go back in.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think what you're doing here is fine. Here I would race for his blue buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trolling here. You can get his blue and grump. You'll be done with his blue. Look. Right now, there. Right now you can run straight like this.
Yeah.
Then you can take blue, grump, boom. That's really big. And we want to be able to do things like this, because then we can build like Road of Ages and stuff and rely on ourselves. Because you're fucking useless. You're only healing people, but you only have one person worth to heal, and that's Jace.
Yeah.
And he is not a Twitch Yumi.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage of the game, what do you remember thinking?
I don't know. I think I still think it's like pretty winnable. I think like Twitch Yumi is like not as unkillable for us, because I think it like just takes one stun and then we have like pretty good follow up. And I think like the Hecarim is far behind enough to where it basically just like comes down to picks, and like Draven's playing like safe enough to where I don't think he's gonna really int. So basically just like kind of corral my teammates into like the same area. I think it's fine. I think generally like we don't really want to kind of be handshaking like a 1-3-1 or something like that, because I feel like it allows them to kind of scale. That makes it a bit more difficult for us to catch people. Whereas like if we're kind of like ARAMing and like smoke and mirroring, I feel like it's a bit easier. Since we have like Nautilus basically. But I feel like the win condition is just like catching them chain inting, which I also think is like super possible because the Twitch doesn't seem to have like the greatest amazing.
He doesn't seem to respect much.
Yeah, so I think that was kind of our win condition.
Just one thing, you should look to get rid of this refillable and get pinks. Like you really need pinks. But yeah, like you said, 1-3-1 can stall the game a bit, that's true. But it can also create opportunities for your laners to flank.
Mm-hmm.
Echo needs to be able to flank. He can't just he can't just walk here and face check like this.
Yeah.
But it's hard to 1-3-1 because Twitch can just pick people off. So I think if their AD carry was like Jinx, right? Like just some AD carry account to make picks easily, right? Like Jinx, maybe Aphelios. I wouldn't mind 1-3-1ing this game.
Okay.
Because it allows you guys to like flank. Because the thing as well is that if you guys ARAM, these guys are not gonna push, right? So they're gonna stand inside of here, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't it easier if they get to push and then you guys just come behind them? with Echo.
Yeah.
And look for picks like this. That is what a 1-3-1 allows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be Echo standing here, just not getting any XP and just praying. So, yeah, let's see how it plays out. Like, I think that only way that you guys get a pick now is if Twitch, like, walks up like a fucking ape.
Yep.
And if he does that, then he would have done that if you guys 1-3-1 as well.
Yep. So here I think we know Graves and Cinder are bot side jungle, so I kind of just want to shadow Echo.
Mm-hmm. It's fine as long as you don't kill yourself.
Yep.
You still haven't based for pinks. It's really bad. You really need it this game. Here you just AFK there, like Twitch went invis, and then like here I think while waiting for wolves you can just go mid. Like there. Like now just
be in midline.
yeah, just be here. Right? Just out of vision.
Yeah.
Just stand here. In case something happens. And then just go to wolves.
Yeah. I think here we like hear Twitch and like their team is pushing up.
Good Echo. You did a lot there. Cap.
Yeah.
Again, you take your jungle. We just saw that his top side respawned earlier as well. Like, and he was bot side, so his top side should be up.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't counter jungle. Like, I really don't know. Like, Grace is dead.
True.
Because you're kind of just like oinking. You know, you're like, okay, we killed Graves, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take my own Raptors, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I would play piss aggro here.
Yeah, because we just see everybody.
Yeah, we see everybody. I would fucking jump over here. I'd sweep. I'd fucking go into their jungle. I'd try to flank. I want to force a fight. Right?
Yeah.
I want to get inside of this position so I can maybe land spears from behind them. Maybe catch them. I want to ping my team. Go in, fight. Because I don't know if Graves will int again. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not happy with just getting Graves here.
Yeah.
I want to get Graves and his entire jungle. I want to get Graves and kill Twitch. I want to get fucking Baron. I want to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bummer. Now Graves has respawn too. That's...
Yeah. And then they FF.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that
It's
at least you had a thought process on what you did in terms of puffing, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of wrong because your bot lane is not going to do anything this game if they don't get huge lead, and enemy jungle has the chance of either playing for top or playing to save his bot. And him playing for top isn't ideal because Hecarim cannot stack waves. So Jace is winning 1v1. So the Graves can only gank, and the Graves is ganking without setup.
Yeah.
So his ganks shouldn't work out until he has a lot of damage.
Mhm.
Then the only issue, like I said, with starting topside is then getting late invaded, which if you're afraid of doing that, W start into Raptors is a very viable route.
Yeah. I agree.
Then you could avoid all of this. And then there's like certain small windows, right, where you're not farming when you could off, which can lead into you being like maybe level 14 and stuff, you know. And this can really matter because if you get to snowball, it's really big as Nidalee. And then, like you said, you're not able to do the Rod of Ages build a lot because you don't really get ahead. And this can be one of those reasons, right? Like lack of farm.
Yeah. I'm also like not really paying attention to like camp respawns after like basically first clear. Kind of
Yeah.
notice, which makes sense, I guess.
Because like watching this game, it just felt like you wanted to win, but you didn't really know how to. You just like run around and just like just adapted to whatever was happening. It wasn't really you planning anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a big issue I face, I think. I kind of like don't know what to do, I guess.
Mhm.
Like I
Like
feel
this game here, what do you think? Like this game here, except for the fact you're triple AP. What do you think this game? Looking at the champs.
I think bot lane like early is really hard for our bot lane. I think top has like no setup, but it's not like super hard to gank actually, because like I feel like Volibear's I think like Volibear-esque champions like Malphite and stuff like that are actually kind of easy to gank because they're just like pretty easy to hit spears on, just because they're kind of slow.
Yeah, they're slow on big hitbox.
Yeah. So I don't think it's like absolutely terrible to gank top. I think mid lane should be losing, but I feel like Zoe wins the matchup at this level. Like I think it's a levels higher. I think Syndra wins, but I think yeah. Anyway, like it basically just comes down to if she can hit bubble, basically, which is like kind of hard.
Basically, like Zoe can win early on, and then Syndra starts to take over
Yeah.
the matchup. So what I'm thinking here is that top lane is a farm lane. Kha'Zix can't gank it. I can hit spears on Volibear, yes. Can we kill him? Depends how Volibear plays.
Yeah.
Bot lane is double ranged. It's a Varus and Soraka. Both of them have AoE spells and they want to poke. So what this means is that they are most likely going to be pushing. So then the question is, how likely are they to die? Well, I have setup with Pyke.
Yeah.
If I make my bot lane snowball as well, I have a MF and a Pyke running around with me.
Yeah.
So since top lane again is not gonna get fucked over by me going bot, I want to play for bot. Even though yes, they have barrier exhaust, it's hard to kill them, but they should be pushing. If they aren't pushing, then my bot lane is doing good.
For sure. My main concern is like I guess health. Like I don't think like at least Pyke shouldn't be very healthy most of the time in this lane. So I don't really want like I feel like if I gank bomb we get countered, we just insta lose the game. So I had kind of to like pick my fights like very specifically.
Which side were you this game? Do you remember?
Red.
Oh yeah, I see here. Yeah. I mean you're red, so like, like the worst thing that can happen is, so you start topside, you clear it,
Sure.
and then, you know, at whatever moment here, either after blue or whatever, you see Pyke is too low. You just end up full clearing and recalling going topside. Like, it's, I don't think it's that bad. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, okay, he's too low for me to gank. So what? I got to full clear. Like, I mean, if you start here and you're puffing up the top lane, like, I feel like what's gonna happen unless Volibear is here, it's just gonna get him getting hit by a spear and just like running away.
Yeah, I mean this is the other game that I linked that I was kind of.
Yeah, what ended up happening in that game?
I pathed top, I killed Volibear, and then like died because I don't know what Volibear does, so I like died to minions. And then basically, I think the Kha'Zix is like ARL player, so I was, or like kind of a decent player, I guess. And he just kind of kept getting like kills on me, and I didn't really understand like how to play around it. Like, yeah, he would just like always know where I am and kind of just like find me in my jungle. And I didn't really know how to play around it.
Like I said, you want to create a pet here. You want your Pyke to be your pet. And you guys run around. And if they fall really far behind the bot lane, then that's gonna have a lot of consequences.
Yeah.
So I would just want to farm up early here. Because if I can farm, like, every game, like, if I can farm up every game as Nidalee, it's so easy to win.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, this game I would just want to farm down to bot and see what happens. Like, if they overextend and if I can force a gank, then I can force a gank. If not, then worst case is that I just ended up farming the first 4 minutes, which I am fine with.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, like I mentioned, the only 80 damage you have is the MF and the Pyke, so making your AP champs get ahead doesn't make sense either to me.
Yeah.
Like, look Kha'Zix's build and Volibear.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So, if MF and Pyke gets ahead, it's so insanely good.
For sure. Yeah, that makes more sense.
And yeah, versus things like Kha'Zix and Rengar, you can't afford to make mistakes in early game. Because if they get ahead of you before you can even get Tabis or Sonias, it's lost.
Yeah.
And again, you have your fucking Affians with losing bot lane.
Yep.
And you can't heal Vlad if he's in pool, so you're healing Zoe here. Nice.
Yeah, you know. Has its pros and cons.
Seems like it has a lot of cons. Not sure about the pros so far.
Yeah.
It's not the best Nidalee player, self-made. Looks like he quit Nidalee.
Yeah. I don't think there are a lot of like crazy good pro nids in the West, at least.
I think Inspired is pretty fine.
Oh, I haven't really watched. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, what's this account?
I think it's just. I don't know. He name changed. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Nice champion, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine you're stuck like Master D1.
True.
Look how good Inspired is. Holy macaroni. You should watch some games of Inspired.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, this game is 2 days ago. He played Roa build too. He's not duo in these games either. He's just solo queue. So it's not like you could say he's duo abusing. It's legit solo queue. It's really impressive. So yeah. Do you have any questions?
I guess like the main question would be like, is there a way of just like, I guess like mentally forcing yourself to be, or like pay attention to more consistent things in jungle, I guess. Because I find myself like kind of playing like the game we just watched is basically like every game I play, where I'm kind of just like farming and then things like fall into my lap, and then okay, if I get kills, then it's cool, but if I don't, we just lose.
Okay. Well, what kind of habits do you have right now? Like when you're in loading screen, when you're in champ select, what are you telling yourself?
I think mainly I'm just focusing on like what cheeses can happen. Like based off the team comps. So like if they have level 1s, and then I used to like kind of change my clear a lot, but I've kind of just like started on blue no matter what, which is like not very ideal, obviously. So yeah, I kind of just think about if they can invade me at red, or like go red to my Gromp, basically. That's kind of a big one, but I feel like I lose those like almost every time. So if somebody goes for it, I'm basically just like praying that they don't do it. But I think Raptor is actually like a really smart like answer to that, and I haven't done Raptor clear since like my first few games on early. Yeah, I kind of just think about like what feels natural. So like whatever lane would feel like good to gank.
Okay. And then in the game, do you then stop thinking, or?
I guess I kind of just like adjust based off the things that happen.
Okay.
Or I try to at least.
And then if nothing happens, did you not have any plan to begin with then?
I mean, I think the plan is always full clear, and then
see what happens.
Yeah, that's basically
yeah, but you can, for example, full clear down to bot because there's a way building up and I want to dive on it. I can full clear up to top because I want to, you know, get to top lane to cover. You know?
Yeah.
Things like this. And I mean, it didn't seem to me much that you were planning ganks based on waves, watching at this replay.
Yeah, I think I just kind of like, I don't like expect certain lanes to play out certain ways, I guess.
But no, but like,
There's a decent amount of variance, but like once they happen, I guess I kind of watch, but yeah, not as often as I should do.
I mean, in D1 solo queue,
Mhm.
where a freeze can occur, it usually doesn't get frozen.
Yeah.
But what I mean, ganking with waves, is for example when your lane get pushed in, no matter what your teammates will do, it will bounce back into enemy.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really strange for me to not abuse that as a jungler. Because
Yeah.
there's no way your lane could fuck that up, because that's how the game is made. It's going to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's silver, bronze, or challenger, you know, that's how it's going to be. So things like that, not abusing that, is really strange to me.
Yeah.
And you were walking over wards a lot in this game, where we knew that they warded. Like we saw like mid lane go missing and stuff to drop a ward, and you're just walking over it. And like you can see, like when people push out lane and go missing to a certain side, you can assume that side is warded.
Mm-hmm.
So like what I would say to you is that what you should just do is first of all watch like Inspired Nidalee, right? Try to see like maybe some things, how he plays. Does he play very greedy? How does he play it? Like what is he doing, right? But also just like rewatch this coaching session, right? Because like I said, I will upload it to you so that you can see it.
Sure.
Rewatch it a bunch of times and like take notes of all the things, and then try to work on one or two things every game. Keep working on the same things, right? Until those things start to stick, and then you move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
This way you can make habits, because of course it's going to be really hard to focus on everything that I said, but once things becomes habits, like for example when you're looking at the map, there are certain things we look at, right? Like a bronze player will look at the map and just look to see where enemy jungle is, right? He'll just look and see, can I see jungle? No. That's it. They're not going to look at map and look at waves, right? Maybe a gold player will look at, okay, where is the jungler, but also where is mine, right? A diamond player might look at the things and see, okay, where's jungle, where's my jungle, where's support, right? But you're expected now, when you're trying to rank up and stuff, you should be looking at the minions, you should be looking at everybody, you know, you should be trying to look at lanes and try to figure out how will they play in 30 seconds based on waves and stuff. You can know all of these things. You can add things like I said, where if you see somebody go missing, go into a certain side, okay, this area is probably warded. I should look to sweep there or avoid that area, right? Pressing tab to see if somebody has a pink ward, and the next time they go missing, that pink ward is gone, you know they pinked top side or bot side. You didn't do these things, because it's not a habit of yours. But if you play 10, 20 games in a row, where you're reminding yourself when you're checking the map, right, and to check the map, and when you're doing that, to look for these things as well, then it'll become easier and easier and easier, and then all of a sudden, once it's starting to become a habit, every time you look at the map, you will look for these things as well as the other things that you're already doing. You have to build habits, because the reason why challenger players, like really high on the ladder, are able to be so consistent is because they have all these habits. Like if you talk to Inspired and you ask him why he's doing everything he's doing, he might not even be able to answer all of it. Because it just feels natural, it's a habit. You know what I mean? That's why it's very easy for me to coach and tell you like what you're doing wrong, because it just feels off to me. Like when I see you dragging around up mid wave and being scared to insta push it, it feels strange to me. Like I would insta push that because my mid laner is still dead and he has no TP. When I see a mid laner pushing a wave, I'm instantly going to see if my laner has TP to know if I take the wave or not. You didn't have that habit, so I can quickly call you out on it. So you have to make these habits.
Sure.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.